What is up, YouTube? It's Phoenix bringing you a guide on how to push out of the gold ranks within Apex. If you're struggling to push out of the ranks right now in gold, queuing with bad teammates, don't know which legend to pick, want to improve at your gunfights, this is the guide for you. It's going to be short, concise, and sweet. We're going to go over, like I said, how to win more of your gunfights, just some tips there, and then also how to find a team to play with through utilizing Discord, and then legend selection is how we're going to start off the video. What legend to play, what legend you should play when you're solo, what legend you should play when you have a comp, what legend can you pick that will give you free RP without even doing any damage, or KP. All of that in this video. It's very informative, so make sure you stay till the end and make sure to drop a like. Thank you guys. A little disclaimer is that because of the goal of this video is to be short and concise, inevitably there's going to be things that get left out. So make sure to check out the rest of my channel. If I don't have any more videos out yet, just simply subscribe, because we will be dropping multiple videos weekly on this channel on how to improve within Apex. And you can always drop a comment. I reply to every single one of my comments on my videos. If you have any questions, simply drop them there, and you can check the description down below to access my Twitch. I stream every day, so you can even ask questions on there live and get an instant reply. So thank you guys, and let's hop straight into the video. Before we hop into the tips of this video, I'm gonna be honest. It's hard to make a video that's informative and entertaining at the same time. Make a video that's short and concise without having little jokes throughout it and little memes to keep it entertaining. This is just pure cut information. Not everybody's going to have the attention span for this video, and that's all right. But if you're serious about improving in Apex Legends, watch from beginning to end. The tips are going to be helpful. It's not going to be that hard to power through, but some of the parts of the video aren't as entertaining as I would like the legend selection, but they are packed with tips. If you absorb this information, implement it in your game, I guarantee you will push out of gold in no time. So watch the legend selection, watch how to build a team, and the later parts of the video, like the gunfights, should be way more entertaining. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Thank you. So the first part of this video is legend selection. You have to determine, there's a couple things to determine which legend you should use. The first question you should ask yourself, and a pretty obvious one, is what is your play style? Do you like being aggressive? Do you like being more support? That you can figure out on your own. Very easy. Just look at the classes of legends. I'll let you do that on your own. But a second more important question is, are you solo versus with a team? Some legends depend more on their team than other legends. And if you're random queuing with people in gold, there's a good chance that your teammates are going to be a little less knowledgeable about the game than random queuing in plat. So you want to depend less on your team typically. So if you don't have a pre-made team, avoid Crypto, Revenant, Newcastle. Loba can provide value to the team if you like her, but typically she doesn't have things that could benefit her as a solo. So any legend like that. Avoid legends like that who depend more on your team, especially if you're solo. Great solo characters to play are all the movement characters: Wraith, Pathfinder, Octane. The reasons are obvious. You can queue away, you're invulnerable. If you're grapple to get away, if you have your pad to push fights even with your team, or to escape, and you can stim. Another thing is that you can even use legends to boost your team as well. Your teammates might not have the greatest game sense or other things, so you could use legends like Seer, which is basically wall hacks, free game sense. Like, your teammates, for lack of a better word, might be literal idiots, but if they can see their enemy through a wall, see what armor they have and everything, and see their positioning, they're gonna push and make smarter decisions. That's just reality. So maybe you don't want to play a purely selfish character like Pathfinder. Maybe you want to play somebody like Seer or Bloodhound. Give your team information and boost the whole team up. That you'd be surprised how much that helps randoms. And another thing is, when you use Seer scan or Bloodhound scanned, it technically counts as an assist. So even if you don't do a single ounce of damage to the enemy, you're still going to get that KP, the kill points, that will multiply your RP for the ranked system. Basically, you're just going to get assists. It's going to help boost you up. And at the opposite end of that, if you have a team, you can pretty much pick whatever legend you want. At gold, if you have a full team and everybody can hit their shots, you're basically winning. It's not like heavy positioning. It almost feels like a public match. But we're going to talk more about gunfighting and positioning later in the video. That is probably the most vital part of this video. Within gold, legend selection, just pick who you want. Pick who you want for the most part. If you're in a team, if you're solo, look at the other legends that I talked about and the benefits that they offer. The first thing I want to say before we get into it is I'm going to teach you some techniques to win more gunfights, but these are very quick and these are towards people within the gold rank. Some of these things you might know of them, you might know them, but this is a reminder and this is where to practice them, how to practice them, and how to actually implement it. You might know these things or have heard of these things, but do you actually do them is the question. And a quick thing that I'm going to say is if you want to practice your gunfights, hop in public matches. Public matches are for practicing your mechanics, your aim, and then ranked matches are for practicing your positioning. Okay. The first and most obvious thing is your positioning. How do you fight people and how do you take fights? When you're fighting somebody, are you running straight up to them out in the open? Holy. When you're fighting somebody, are you running straight out to them in the open and just shooting them and exposing yourself to multiple targets, like the whole team? Because if you're in a 2v1, 90% of the time you're going to lose if they hit their shots. That's just as simple as it is. When you take fights, you want to control what angles you're being shot from. So if I'm sitting here, I've isolated this target. This is a 1v1. This guy can't shoot me. This guy can't shoot me. It's one-on-one. You want to isolate targets and take them down. Play cover. Another part of playing cover is after you shoot somebody and run out of ammo, you dip into cover to reload. The same can be said for any gun that has an animation in between it. I'm going to pick up two guns that do, the Sentinel and the PK. So this is how you play cover. Every time you're bolting, cover, cover. He can't deal damage to me while I'm stuck in any sort of information. Same goes for PK. Any top player that you see using PK is ducking into cover and playing movement while they have that cocking animation. Easy thing that you hear within all games and shooters is playing high ground. And the reason you want to play high ground is from up here, if I'm playing cover like this guy can only see my head. I can see his whole body. It's going to be a lot harder for him to hit shots. It's going to be a lot harder for him to hit shots than it is for me. But another thing is that you got to keep in mind while doing this is if someone has a sniper and you keep peeking your head out at the same place, it's going to be a lot easier to dome you because the only thing peeking out is your head. So even though you have high ground, that's not everything. If someone has better mechanics than you, they're going to beam you. So make sure you're taking shots, ducking in, and coming out from a different angle. Don't be re-peeking the same high ground. High ground is not an instant win. You can still lose, especially with the release of Vantage, the sniper character. Make sure you're peeking different angles, even from high ground. But playing cover is huge in virtually any gunfight and also utilizing the firing range. I'll probably release like a full warm-up things. I got a lot of things to drop on YouTube, man, but now that you have your positioning or an idea of positioning and how to implement it, what happens when you don't have cover and you're vulnerable while reloading? When you're vulnerable, when you're stuck in a reloading animation, you always want to slide or even duck like this. It might look simple on my screen, but on your enemy screen, you're crouching. If you've ever been fighting somebody and they're going like this, it's a lot harder to hit, especially on Wraith and other characters. So if you're stuck reloading your gun, do not stand still. Go like this. Some people even go like that, and then you slide while you're reloading. A lot harder to hit than just standing around, and you would be surprised at gold. So in between reloads, in between delivering animations, make sure you're moving around. And also practice the guns you're weak with. Do not ignore the guns that you're bad at, because you're going to inevitably come into a hot drop, come into a 50-50, and you're gonna lose because you pick up a gun that you're not confident with. You're already not confident with it, and you're 50-50, you're done. So when you come to the firing range, pick up guns that you're not familiar with, use them, practice the recoil pattern, just practice. A lot of people hop straight into games. There's a reason there's a firing range. Most our pros or people are warming up in the firing range to get better and just developing that technique. If you practice the guns you're not comfortable with in the firing range before you start every day, practice your recoil, practice playing cover, and you will improve. So there's full guides, and I'm going to release a guide on gunfighting, but this is what I'm going to do to keep it short. Remember, you're going to play positioning. When you're reloading, keep up your movement and practice guns that you're not comfortable with and the recoil for guns that you are comfortable with. That way you hit your shots and develop your mechanics. If you guys enjoyed this guide, make sure to drop a like and also subscribe. Feel free to check out the rest of my channel because there's going to be tons more Apex information coming to you guys. And thank you for watching till the end.